Start streaming. Q. Let's wait for this to pop up on YouTube for a bit, and then we'll start. Actually, let me check if it's... Okay, I hear myself a lot, so... Let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna be ignoring every Discord message I could be potentially sent on. So, so we're gonna start on the new areas story. Quotations on new. So it's gonna be oratorio of days gone by. Even after everything, the area students continue to stand their ground. What will Sensei tell them? Okay. Alright, chapter 1, Sights Beyond the Boundary. Sensei's heading to Area Satellite School for a special lesson. Okay. Cold wind. Oh! It's a new student. Maybe I should take a break. I figured that as long as I made it here, things would work out one way or another. They have to. It has to be different outside. After all, if this was the path that the squad took, surely even I can follow in their footsteps. Did it start raining? So cold. I can't feel my fingers. Just keep moving. You haven't been paid for 5 days? Well, we never signed a contract, so as far as I'm concerned, you haven't worked at all. Arius? Nah, haven't heard of it. So you mean to say you don't have any academic records at all? I can work with that. Hey, got some under-the-table work for you. What do you mean you won't? Aren't you used to getting your hands dirty? How did I know? Do you think I really would have hired you without a background check? I have my ways of getting intel. You're trying to go clean? That's why you won't? Huh, look kid, there's only one thing you're good for, so you might as well make the most of it. What? You think some ice cream shop is gonna hire you to serve good, upstanding citizens? Get out of my sight. I've got no use for someone like you. It was all a lie. Nothing good would ever come my way. Nothing good will fall into my lap so easily. Nothing good ever happens the way you want. Dreaming is free, but the consequences of reality are inescapable. There's no paradise for runaways. I knew that. I did. But I still held onto my dreams. I fervently grasped for what they call hope. It was all just a dream. I made it back. I'm sure nothing's going to change, but I feel a little better at least. Area Satellite School. The place where I was raised, where I was forced to endure, where I was educated. Our school You're back. Huh? You probably have a lot to say, but for now, go get some rest. Is that Subaru? Yes, that's me, Kakahashi Subaru. Tatsuki Maya, right? You don't have anything to worry about. Even if the world has abandoned you, I haven't. Arias hasn't. Yes. Welcome back to our areas. Ooh, yeah. It's been a while, Sensei. We need to see each other more often, or I might forget what you look like. Yeah, how long has it been? 2 or 3 years? Will you? Interesting. I have committed the shape of Sensei's face and the point of their ears to memory. Recalling a target's appearance perfectly is all a part of completing my mission. What are you even saying? Stop making it sound like you're going to assassinate Sensei. Oh, rather than such violent intentions, perhaps the nature of her mission is that of a late night call. For makeup classes, of course. And now what you're saying? What? Are you incapable of holding back your lewd tendencies for a single moment? Are you cursed? Will your tongue fall off if you don't talk about it at least a day? Death penalty! Yeah. Weird expressions are also illegal. I've just decided. Well, it would be nice to see you again before our schedule's picked up next week, Sensei. Next week? What's going on next week? Going back to school? I guess you would know. Trinity Comprehensive Exam season is going to be in full swing next week. So we really need to start studying, like, really badly. Was the Trinity Comprehensive Exam? The infamous Trinity Comprehensive Exam. It's a series of standardized tests meant to evaluate students' knowledge on all fronts: linguistic proficiency, health education, health classes, and health education. As the name suggests, it's a comprehensive exam of all the subjects we're expected to know. I don't think there's that many sections on health. Wait, I get it. Fuck you. Is it different from your regular exams? I'm also curious about this detail. I learned what supplemental exams were from before, however. The main difference is that the test writers for the Trinity Comprehensive Exam aren't from Trinity. I can't remember exactly why. Something about credibility, objectivity. That's correct. There's too much potential for bias if the questions come from within Trinity. It could even provoke people to ask, how is it fair for the person who wrote the exam to take the same exam? And it's a small concession, but the comprehensive exam has the advantage of not including chapel studies. I get it now. It's a mock national exam. Oh, what's that? Something even worse than the comprehensive exam? I guess I get it. Based on my analysis of Sensei's expression, they did not particularly enjoy it. I understand. Sensei's trying to assure us that everyone dislikes taking exams regardless of who they are, myself included. You find that hard to believe? Sensei, despite your skewed perception of me, I truly am just an ordinary high schooler. Ordinary? Well, if you're offering a special late night exam proctored by you, Sensei, that I'd enjoy immensely. You better fuck off! Oh dear, Koharu, or else what? Death boat! Haha. Understood. Hifumi, there's no danger of failing in mission comprehensive exam. Yeah, since Trinity isn't proctoring this test, it won't affect our grades, but that's all the more reason for us to do our best. Trinity students are the elite. We can't come second to any other school. Yeah, about that. Also, you won't technically fail anything, but if you completely bomb, you'll have to participate in makeup study sessions. So even if I can't fail, I can still fail? You could put it that way. They just don't want to punish the struggling students too harshly. Kind of like what we did with the makeup work club. I know it's called a study session, but I don't expect you to do much more than show up. But no one wants a study session to infringe upon what's precious few hours we have to ourselves after school, do they? We're going to be this study hard club and avoid makeups this time. Yes, yes. Right. Water. Water. Uh. Well said, Sensei. In the event that I end up being the only one to fail the comprehensive exam, will you be the teacher in charge of my makeup study session? Just imagine it, an empty classroom with just the two of us. It's hot. It's hot. So you open the window and the evening breeze grazes over us. Being the troublesome student I am, I gaze out at the warm flush of the setting sun. Sensei comes close to chastise me. A strong breeze comes in. Sensei instinctively reaches out to protect me. The two of us are eye to eye, nose to nose, and even we're unconscious of how we're leaning in closer and closer. What? What? You're banned from speaking. Fuck you. I should see how everyone else is going up. The vigilante crew doesn't rest, even during exam season? Of course not! Academics and public safety are equally important. Behold, this is the indomitable will of the vigilante crew. We will never bend on our principles. Right, Suzumi? I don't know exactly what principles you're referring to. Regardless, studying is the inherent responsibility of any student, so I have to agree. Sorry? Just seeing me makes you feel lighter inside? I don't know what that means. Me neither, but there's no bad in something good. What a goofball. What a freaking goofball. It's you two. I thought some visitors snuck in here. Sensei's just here to check on us since it's exam season. The linguistics on these tests are so rudimentary. I hardly need to study. There's the other subjects too, Yui. That's why it's called the comprehensive exam. Books cover all sorts of subjects, so I'll be fine. You'll be fine, even with math. That's no good, President. Just like how being a picky eater isn't good for your health. Being a picky reader is bad too. Are you good at math, Shimiko? Me? I'm a first year, so the scope of my test will be much less difficult than the President's. Who's a third year? How unfair. Isn't Ui like inches taller than everyone else? Hey, Sensei, we did all get together to study for the comprehensive exam. Listen well, brave students. When our sugar levels get low, so does our brain function. And we should only refuel with the most premium of fuel. And we should only refuel with the most premium of fuels, glucose. Therefore, indulging in desserts during this critical time is not only romantic, but completely necessary. Exactly. What is study without snacks? This is why I keep you around, Natsu. And now we're here. Sorry, Sensei, you even made time to come check on us. In a way, it's nice to see that some things never change. Naturally, Sensei, a remedial knight rises to the challenge, whether it be exams or aid. In fact, this comprehensive exam is merely aid given new form. I don't quite follow. Both exams and aid are of benefit to the people. We must uphold our passion and dedication to providing aid by following its principles in all circumstances. Thus, aid comes in many forms, such as reaching out a helping hand with pure intentions rather than selfish desires. Standing against injustice by any means necessary. This is also a manifestation of aid. Consider the corrupt medical supplier who created a subpar product which failed to properly disinfect and treat wounds in an attempt to cut costs. By meting out their punishment, I'm aiding both them and the general populace. All paths lead to aid. Thus, this exam is also aid. Hmm? What exactly does aid mean? Ha ha. I suppose it's what we of the remedial knights value above all. You know, I was wondering why the cutting-edge medical advances Trinity has made aren't being tested on the exam. Maybe because our edge is just a little too sharp, honey. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm happy you wanted to check on us, but... Uh... Take a few deep breaths, Tsurugi. Please compose yourself in front of Sensei. Yeah. Thank you, Sensei, for your consideration. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your studying. Not at all. Proper breaks are an essential part of the process. Besides eating our patrols, we've done nothing but study for the past few days. We get less free time than most, so we end up having to cram in what we can, whatever chance we get. She's totally right, but you don't have to be so worried, Sensei. Everyone here was well aware of what life in the Justice Task Force will be when they signed up. Yes, resolutely marching forward on our chosen path, no matter the obstacles. That's what makes us who we are. Speaking of obstacles, I'm still stuck on this part. Can you explain moral relativism to me? It's a little hard for me too. If something is moral or immoral only relative to a particular standpoint, then can you really define anything as moral? It's one of those things that feels more complicated the more you think about it. Well, let's try starting with memorizing the theory. Ah, yes. I plan to hold study sessions in the large auditorium. Attendance is mandatory for all sisters. What if someone studies better alone? Mandatory is really intense. What if they're shy? I'm failing to understand. We at the Sisterhood strive to live a life free of shame and sin. As students, studying is one of our prime directives. What reason do they have to shy away from the sisters in time of need? I trust the Sisterhood and its members with my very life. And regardless, I have assured them that they may schedule a consultation with me to discuss any apprehensions that they may bear. I should do all I can to put them at ease. For most sisters, a one-on-one consultation with you is quite the opportunity, yes, Sister Hinata. I must always seek new ways to embody the compassion and upright principles you preach onto others. As you say, I suppose. I convinced Sakurako to ease up a little bit. And, in the end, we made the study session optional for all sisters. Hinata and Mari really have it rough. Oh yeah. Ah, Sensei, hello. Well, I may have been procrastinating on studying a little bit. Truly, you'll treat us to dessert if we do well. I'll hold you to that. Me too. I'll even study in advance this time. Do you mean you'll rest your eyes after taking one page of notes again? I absolutely saw you fall asleep too. Cunt, bitch, tosser. I smiled at the girl's banter and went on my way. I was surprised by two students, both clearly anxious. Sensei, do you have a second? What? Do not concern me with small issue. The Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga. Well, welcome, Sensei. So, this is our room. What's going on? Wait, I forgot. Forgot what? Sensei, we're really sorry. But could you actually wait outside just for 5 minutes? I know this probably seems weird, but please, just 5 minutes. I just decided to do as they asked and stepped out into the hallway. After a while, you can come in. I mean, please come in now. Uh, Hello again, Sensei. We didn't mean to surprise you. In fact, we mean no harm at all. I suppose, according to Trinity, you could cause areas transfers? Ah, you might not remember about Madame and everything that happened, but one day she just disappeared completely. We were happy she was gone, but also at a complete loss. You could feel the tension everywhere you went. What happened to Arius? But that's when we met them. Uh, Around there should be okay. Your uniform? Trinity? Please, shh. Yes, I am. I didn't mean to scare you. I was supposed to wear the Tea Party's uniform instead of this, but... Tea Party? What is that? It's something like a club in Trinity that really appreciates tea time. Uh, okay. What? We could transfer to Trinity? But for us, Trinity. Yes, I understand where you're coming from. I swear my intent is to press you in any way. I'm only reaching out my hand as an option. You could take my open hand and start a new life at Trinity. But you don't have to. No matter what you wish to do, it's your choice. It's just, this is so sudden. I understand. In fact, I'm sure this was the last thing you were expecting. You don't have to say, you don't have to answer right away. There are people at Trinity and the Tea Party who sincerely want to bridge the gap between us. Not a lot, but enough. That means anything too public would be difficult, even if we could transfer. And even if there are some people who would welcome us, would the other students be okay with us? You've stumbled upon the crux of the problem. You see, Trinity is an amalgamation of countless factions and clubs. If you do choose to come with us, you will be labeled as a foreign transfer student in your records. We'll say you come from somewhere far away in the countryside. Within the situation being what it is, that's the best we can do. Uh, I meant it earlier when I said you could take your time. Think on it, and if you make up your mind to come, please call this number. We thought about it. We really thought about it. Everything was uncertain. Our situation, Ares Trinity, and... But after all that thinking, we couldn't help but feel that anything would be better than what we had. And so you ended up here. Yes. And there's a lot of other Ares students who transferred too. Although they're mostly first or second year students. I see. What a journey. You've been through a lot. No, not at all. Honestly, none of it feels real. At Arius, even owning a blanket was a faraway dream. Here, I have a bed. It's so soft and fluffy. Well, Arius did have beds, but we weren't allowed to use them because comfort would make us weak. I'm sorry, both of you. I bowed my head in apology of the two girls. Why would you apologize, Sensei? Right, in a way, it's thanks to you that we're even here at all. I shouldn't have neglected Arius after everything that happened. This is still, hearing that makes us... This isn't why we asked you to come here. With the shock of seeing Aries students in Trinity, I'd forgotten that they wanted to ask me something. What did we want to talk about? Ah, glad we can finally ask. So, our question is, what is a comprehensive exam? Huh? Actually, more specifically, I was wondering what an exam is, period. We didn't do this kind of class studying back at Aries. And we didn't really think we could ask the Trinity students. They all seemed like they knew exactly what it was without anyone explaining to them. That's why we were here to hoping you could help us, Sensei. Because you're a teacher, right? Right. I get it now. This is our first time meeting, right? Hmm? Of course it is. Since we're from Arius, after all. We shouldn't speak negatively about ourselves like that. We could try in front of you at least. Uh, Without thinking, I reached out my hands to pat their heads. The Arius students recoiled back in fear, instinctively cowering from my outstretched hands. So sorry, we didn't mean. It's because we don't think of you like that at all. It's not. Hey, don't worry. I didn't take it that way. But it's okay. Everything's going to be okay now. They're like cats. Hesitantly, the two shuffled over so slightly closer to me. Uh, Seeing them up close, I suddenly realized just how small all the area students I'd encountered until then were, especially in comparison to their peers. After helping them relax a little, I explained them the meaning and importance behind exams. I see. So even though evaluating people based off a single test result might not be the best method, it can still help students review and learn the material. You know, we actually did have something like that in areas, like figuring out how many bullets were loaded based off of the magazine's weight or what to do in close quarter combat situations. The methods for destroying halos, so on and so forth. Hey! Hmm? What? Sorry, Sensei, I shouldn't talk about that so casually. You're more curious about how we've been adjusting? Well, we've got to have a school life here. It feels weird to be saying that. Are we having fun? Yes, a lot. More than anything, we've been really surprised over and over again. There's no patrols or drills, and you won't get put in solitary confinement if you make a mistake. And Sensei, get this, they even feed you 3 times a day. It can get hot here too. I was really surprised by that, because it was always cold in areas. Has everyone been treating you well? Yes, very well. They think we transferred from the countryside after all. In fact, they can be so nice, sometimes I don't even know what to do with myself. We went to this place called a cafe with some Trinity students a few times. And they ordered all these expensive things off the menu without batting an eye. I could barely keep mine from popping out of my head. There's so many different types of coffee and cakes. I'm still learning all of them. They sure are delicious and expensive though. That's why we got part-time jobs too, so we could afford to go to the cafe. It's cool to be working. I think I learned just as much as work as I do in the classroom. Like how light your wallet can feel halfway through a pay period. That doesn't change, even as an adult. It really. I thought you'd be like really extraordinary though, Sensei. Like super rich, without care in the world. Living is living, no matter who you are. I kind of like the sound of that. Yeah, that does sound nice. Sensei, you probably already guessed this, but not everyone transferred to Trinity. Yeah, I don't know how well I can explain this, but there were some students who decided to stay. There were a lot of different reasons. But I think at the core of it, accepting Trinity and the outside world was just too big of a change. I realized something after transferring here. So much of your life depends on where you were born. In one place, people would be lucky to have one meal a day, while right on the other side, people sit and enjoy expensive desserts at cafes and restaurants. If you think about it, our two schools could have been really close in another world. We don't know what happened to the students who stayed behind. We have our guesses, but they're just guesses. We heard some rumors that those students have cut ties with the outside world completely, and now they're undertaking some guerrilla operation. Sensei, we've learned that everyone comes from different places, and that we should respect people's opinions as best as we can. Even though we know that, we can't help but worry about the ones who stayed behind. Because we still have bad dreams about areas and everything that happened. Sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night screaming. We started keeping a track of who wakes up the most and who screams the loudest. I'm winning right now. We basically woke up at the same time that last one. I woke up a whole minute before you. Sensei, this might sound strange, but earlier, when you were explaining what an exam is, I just thought that it'd be nice if everyone else had the chance to take an exam too. Wait, really? I know it's a little weird. No, no, no. I thought the same thing. Why do you think you felt that way? Hmm. It's a little hard to explain. I think that seeing the students at Trinity doing regular things like going to classes, getting ready in the morning, taking exams, it felt nice, you know? They felt like things students our age should be doing. Sometimes I hear the Trinity students complain about how much they hate studying. We do find it really hard and all around foreign, but we can't say that we hate it either. Studying is a student's responsibility. We've heard that here a lot. That's it. I was so proud of them that I just couldn't stop myself from patting their heads. Sorry, just hearing you two say that made me... It's okay, we really meant it. I wouldn't mind if you stayed like this for just a little longer. So someone's hand can be this warm. It's really gentle. Anyways, you want area students to have the opportunity to study, right? And to try taking a test? Exactly. That's the idea behind it, but there's been something on my mind. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Well, I guess I should just ask. This test's full name is the Trinity Comprehensive Exam, right? I know that Trinity isn't the one who wrote it, but uh, the students who stayed in areas out of their intense hatred of Trinity probably wouldn't like the name Trinity Comprehensive Exam, would they? And none of them have ever studied before either. On top of that, I heard Arius isn't accepting any visitors right now. Maybe if they could hold classes at Arius like they do here. If that was even remotely possible, it would have happened by now. Don't sweat the small stuff. Really? Does that mean you really think there's a way? Because you're an adult, a teacher. You must know all sorts of things we don't know. Finding impossible solutions is part of an adult's responsibility. For some reason, even though I don't really get it, I still feel like I can believe in you. Asking you for help really was the right choice, Sensei. I also have one more request for you, if that's okay. Could you please look after the squad members here for us? To where the river runs. Okay, everything is ready. Pizza. The number you have dialed is unallocated. Please leave your message after the tone. You've gotten better at making jokes, Satsuko. I appreciate you noticing, Sensei. I learned to answer this way to phone numbers I didn't recognize. Of course, I recognize your number right away. Now, allow me to greet you one more time. Hello, Sensei. How have you been doing? Greetings are important, aren't they? Yes, I'm happy you remembered. To your first question, I've been well enough, one could say. I'm still in hiding and have to wary of my surroundings. Even though I needed to be careful whenever I ventured out, I found it nice to be able to enjoy my free time as I please. So, I've been well. And what about you, Sensei? Is everything okay? I know this is out of the blue, but what are your thoughts on tests? Tests? You sound just like a teacher. No, no, please don't apologize. I meant it in a good way. It was very you. A test is an evaluation of what I've studied, you right? I only know of it conceptually. What do you ask? Again, I know this is very random, but if you had the chance to take one, what would you do? Like an exam to test your knowledge and how babies are made? That does sound rather entertaining. No, 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 no. My apologies. Honestly, I have no answer. It's difficult to picture something I've never experienced before. However, the concept of studying and them being acknowledged for that studying, yes, an ordinary student might get to experience something like that. I'd want to see what the others would say, but there's a certain appeal. There's the possibility of doing poorly as well. I suppose so. Would you give us makeup classes if that were to happen? It seems a win-win situation to me. But why? I was at Trinity and I met some transfer students from areas. Oh? I understand the situation. They were worried about you. Thank you for telling me. Actually, Sensei, perhaps it'd be best to speak about this in person. You're right. That's not what I was referring to at all. Then what? As I said, it'd be best that way. I want to be able to see you face to face when we talk about this. And with everyone else as well. Okay. 5, actually. 5. Are you sure? Of course. We're hardly estranged from Cao Cao. We even meet from time to time. Also, it's a bit presumptuous of me, but I believe it's time for her journey of self-discovery to come to an end. Doesn't she get any input? Misaki always adopts such a forlorn expression whenever Sari is mentioned. But she's also the one who brings her up most often. It is true that she may simply leave us again. However, for something like this, I'd like for all of us to be together. Atsuka. You've gotten really good at asking for favors. Is that a bad thing? Not at all? You think I'll really flourish if I hone my skills? Well, thank you, Sensei. I'll try not to use my power too much. Okay. Audio's looking good. After all, the helpless tend to garner resentment. I can count on you for help with Cao Cao, though, yes? I'd never deny requests from my students. But yes, the world revolves around the principle of give and take. Thank you. I'm glad we have you, Sensei. Wow, how touching. Huh? Is this a giant ship? I guess so. Why do you seem just as confused, Sensei? What's going on here? I saw this in a magazine once. It's called a cruise ship, I think. A cruise ship? Yeah, they're not really made to get from point A to point B, but for luxury and entertainment. They have things like restaurants and amusement rides on board the ship. And they also have things like artificial hot springs and swimming pools, so you can do all sorts of things during the trip. I obviously don't know everything about them, but apparently ticket prices are beyond even the dreams of peasants like us. There's a swimming pool on top of a ship that's on top of water. That's paradoxical in more ways than one. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so smart. Putting that aside, why are we even here? Sensei, this is your doing. Explain. I don't know either. I was told that a sponsor would come meet us. I came here under the same circumstances as you. What? A sponsor? I know what's happening. I read about this in a magazine. We've been kidnapped for the octopus games, haven't we? We'll be forced to kill each other, and the last one standing wins 4.5 billion yen. All the while rich people will watch us slaughter each other for entertainment. We're doomed. completely doomed. I'm sorry for ever wanting anything. I'm sorry for existing. Is this true, Sensei? Everyone, please calm down. Don't you trust Sensei? And on a more logical level, Sensei would never participate in such a thing, seeing as they wouldn't last past the first round. Really? Is that all true? Uh. Uh. Saudi. Oh my. You're the sponsor leader? No, I'm not. I also just... Right, that would be impossible. Completely impossible, actually. Leader isn't capable of such a thing. What? You're right, but the way you said it didn't feel great either. Well, I don't care how long it's for. While you're here, I'm giving you back your position, leader. Let's at least evaluate and understand the situation first. But sorry, we'll be together, we'll be tight, right? Let's start with why you asked us all to meet here, Sensei. It's best to review the facts when things seem uncertain. So, this is a situation. I see. A test. What do you want us to do, Sensei? And I don't want to hear any noise about respecting our choices, understood? The only way to sort out this mess is with transparency. Okay, in that case, I want you all to get the experience taking a test too. Why is everyone so tense all of a sudden? Well, I'm sure there's a lot to this story, but I'd like to start with your reasoning. So you want us to experience what it means to be a student? Sorry. Us? And the students back in areas? Students back in areas? What does that mean, Sensei? I told them about my meeting with the transfer students in Trinity. The transition must have been difficult for them. No matter how well they're treated, being in a new world is intimidating. There are times you feel scared for reasons you can't identify, or other times when your usual ways of dealing with things don't work. I'd say that's a good description of how they were. You must be able to relate, Sardi. We've lived similar stories after all. Sensei, I have a question. I've heard that studying is an inherent responsibility of any student. However, what is the purpose behind it? We did experience them in a way, studying, exams. The curriculum focused mostly on different methods to kill and maim. We were tested on our resolve to pull the trigger in any situation without hesitation. I really don't want to do that again. Me neither, Hiyori. None of us do, right? However, that doesn't answer the question either. Why is studying necessary for any of us to do? I suppose one might say we need to study hard, score well, and get a good job in the future. And people want to secure a good job so they can make more money, correct? However, such motivations don't apply to us. Did you know, Sensei? If it's just to make money, we can make more than enough from what we learned at areas. How exactly? Well, I don't know how people found out about our background, but sometimes we get requests to, kill people, and we always immediately say no and tell them to shoot. The expression, break a halo, is more commonly a figurative phrase, so we didn't use it often in areas. It only came up during conversations about the outside, or sometimes when we would speak with the outsiders, or to make fun of something. Yeah. In areas, we had a much simpler expression. To kill. We were surprised that people in the outside world used it more often than we would have anticipated. Although it meant something a little different to them. They would use it as a joke, but the thought of it was so impossible to them. But not for us. For us, kill meant to kill. That was it. Perhaps the areas we knew tread closer to death than anywhere else in Kavodas. So, Sensei, tell us, why should a student study? If it's to get better jobs or make more money, then there are other ways. If we're willing to cross the line, there are innumerable paths we could take to reach the same objective. It's because A student's responsibility is to learn how to fight against the world. What? I've never considered that. Explain, please, Sensei. Studying is the process of learning something I don't know, and the entire world is one big something I don't know. I understand, like how being ignorant of contracts and how they work makes you an easy target. How insightful. I have no rebuttal, Sensei. Yep, you got me. If I had done my due diligence, the odds of being stiffed of my pay would decrease, perhaps even disappear entirely. So that's how you can fight against this world, with knowledge. Knowledge of how society came to be, or of how to operate within it. It can help us understand conflicting perspectives. As we've seen, it can be impossible to persuade someone to see things the way you want them to. So you think we should look to understand and compromise first? We can recognize, evaluate, and reduce risk from others by expanding our knowledge and understanding of the world. Knowledge as a weapon of self-defense. I guess I can see where you're coming from. So I guess that's something we're gonna need to survive out here. And the students back at Aries needed that the most. Which is why I went above and beyond and asked one more student to join us today. Huh? Is that student the sponsor of this meeting? Ah, so that's what happened, Sensei. Are you sure? You should have told us if you knew that. Forget it. Never mind. So, who is this student? I hope you've been well, Area Squad. Oh my god. I'm Kirifuji Nagisa, Tea Party host and sponsor of this meeting. What? Oh my. Wow. This is peak already. You got me. You got me. The Last Supper? Nagisa is Lucifer. The sponsor was Kirifuji Nagisa, of all people. Explain yourself. I wasn't warned of this. Goodbye, cruel world. We're going to be inducted and taken to Trinity, probably tortured. Just don't take my fingernails, please. Yeah, she worked hard on it. Hiyori, we no longer do such things. Oh wait, she's not on the table anymore. No longer? That would imply that you once did. Aries oh my god. Iris Apocrypha must have been true. Apocrypha? Apocrypha? Man, beat each other up. Sensei. Guys, let's calm down. You expect us to believe that? Then shall we start over? It's a pleasure to see you again, Aria Squad. I'm Kirifuji Nagisa, the host of Tea Party. Hello, Nagisa, and I'm Hakari Atsuko of the Aria Squad. The pleasure is all ours. I'm happy to formally meet you. Imashino Misaki. I'm Tsuchinagi Hiyori Jomesari. I'd expect you to know of me, at the very least. No, not just you. I know all of you, if only through reports and hearsay. And the nature of our past makes you not knowing me an impossibility. You get right to the point, don't you? Enough, Misaki. Let's not pass this opportunity to speak candidly with each other, so please, you as well, sorry. Fine. Understood. Well then, with introductions out of the way, shall we proceed inside? Well, inside the ship? Yes, of course. I rented this cruise ship for the day, so please don't worry about prying eyes. You've rented this entire ship? Isn't that a little overboard? Why? The ship will remain docked the entire time. It's not as if I had to hire a sailing crew. This much is well within budget. Now then. This is its own kind of nightmare. Actually, I wish this was a nightmare. Not even adulthood is scary in this. They do operate in a different world from us in more ways than one. What do we do here? Let's accept her hospitality for the time being. Maybe. Excellent. Let's follow her then. You're relieved that at least I'm talking this well? I'm taking this well? Ha! You see, it's rare to see you so baffled, which led me to believe that these circumstances must truly be unusual ones. If you are already beyond our wildest expectations, it'd be wise to simply bend with the wind, yes? If Asuka can do it, so can I. We're so smart. We're so tact. We're so within reason. Whoa. Is anyone hungry? This restaurant has no menu, so please instead order with whatever your heart desires. Just order anything I want. How could someone operate a restaurant without a designated menu? No, Misaki, this is the mark of the culinary pride. They're confident they can really make anything. Is that how it is? I was unaware that was even possible. Yeah, here's a Sharpie and a napkin. Go. Is this meant to be our last supper? This is just... Last supper? What do you mean? I only wanted for us to share a meal. Miss Nagisa, I'd like to apologize. We're not very used to places like this. Could we leave the ordering to you? Of course, Satsuko. Excuse me? We're ready to order. Understood, Miss Nagisa. As you wish. Well then. Course after course came out, filled with types of dishes I'd never even seen before, let alone tried. For Nagisa, this seemed to be just another normal meal. The rest of us were so overwhelmed by the unfamiliar foods, we couldn't even process all the different tastes. That is, except for one person. Aww. So good. So good. Yori, it's rude to talk with your mouth full. Oh, sorry, it's so delicious. So many flavors I've never tasted. I'm happy to hear that. Please, help yourself. There's more than enough. Did everyone enjoy their meal? It was incredible. Thanks, really. I agree. I felt almost guilty eating something so luxurious. Maybe we could get a box for takeout. While I understand how you're feeling, it would be best to exercise some moderation, Hiyori. Ooh, okay. Shall we have some tea to help digest our meal? I've brought with me tea leaves from Brinnings. It's one of my favorite brands. Shall we prepare for you, my lady? No, thank you. I will do it myself. It'll only take a moment. Nagisa brewed the black tea with a practiced air, precise and exacting in her process. It wasn't long before we could smell the delicious aroma of black tea. There we go, all done. While not quite up to my usual standard, I do hope you'll enjoy. It's so warm, makes me feel fuzzy. This reminds me of water time back in Arius. Ah, yeah, we did have that. Water time? It was a rare treat, but they'd sometimes award a cup of warm water to whoever performed best during training that day. Oh, sorry. It would be around this time of year usually. Warm water. Whenever I got it, I would savor it with the teeniest, tiniest sips, but then it'd get cold. It's funny how it was just some lukewarm water, but it was somehow the yummiest thing in the world. Yeah, Miss Nagisa, my lady, your majesty. Anyways, your tea is a million times better than some boring cup of water, of course. Thank you, and please feel free to call me Nagisa. I was actually the one who asked Sensei to help arrange this meeting. You contacted Sensei first? How did you know? The 2 transfer students were the only ones Sensei spoke to. So if I could explain... No, Sensei. I believe this would be the best. I believe this would be best coming from me. Or at least, this is why I wanted to have this meeting. Where shall I begin? Trinity's Intelligence Committee works tirelessly and achieves excellent results. So you knew about them before Sensei even did? And considering you made first contact, you have all the transfers from areas under surveillance, don't you? You see, and I'll leave it to Sensei. The baton touch might be a little early, but I hope you don't mind. Sensei, it's okay, Nagisa. Sometimes you have to rely on me, and I've confirmed everything you told me already. I'll leave it to you then. You're right. Every transfer student has a Trinity assigned to them. Trinity student assigned to them, but they're there to help them adjust, not to monitor them. The transfer students were actually the ones who told their Trinity counterparts about our meeting. And I'm just supposed to believe that? I understand that I'm asking for a lot. There are too many broken bridges between our schools, and I am a member of the Tea Party, but still. Can you trust this teacher of yours at least? Me? Pretty please? I can. You're Sensei, you know. He already... But Sensei helped us a lot. They could have called a Valkyrie on us anytime they wanted. They could do it right now. We'd be locked up deep in the correction bureau, or somewhere even more terrifying. Wait. Were you pretending to be nice to us all this time? Biding your time until you dragged us away? After everything we've been through, this is finally the end. Life is nothing but pain and suffering. All is in vain. So I might as well finish this black tea before you lock me up. Oh. Sensei, is she... Don't worry, that's her Hiyori. Don't pay her too much mind. If you say so. I should focus on what I came here to do. Yes, you're correct. The entire endeavor would have been naught if I didn't fulfill my objective. I would like to say something. I will not lie to you and pretend that my presence here today is merely in a personal capacity. It's the nature of holding the title of Tea Party host. Whatever I do will be open to interpretation, and whatever I say will be scrutinized for its true intent. So, I would like to formally and sincerely apologize to each one of you. Huh? What are you... Earlier you said that whatever you do will be open to interpretation, and whatever you say will be scrutinized for its true intent. Could I ask you to elaborate, Nagisa? I would expect you to. However, it is as I said. As the Tea Party host and a Trinity student, and as the one who currently represents Trinity, I apologize to you all and to the area satellite school. But why? We acted against Trinity first, did we not? Yes, I know that the area squad was at the forefront of that incident. However, I also know the long, twisted road that led us there. Arius and Trinity's problems did not begin with us. After the Council, Trinity and Arius devolved into what we are now. But today, looking at the relationship, there are ways in which we are closer than any other schools in Kivotos. And you suddenly just woke up one day and had a conscience about all that? Misaki, it's okay. You're well within your rights to feel that way. Trinity should never have banned Arius. Their only crime was a difference in perspective. I believe I've also been personally guilty of neglecting those who were suffering around me. I blamed it on politics and circumstances. If I can reach out my hand to those who are suffering, I wish to do so. I don't buy it. Seriously? I don't want to sit here and sift through the past. But let me be blunt. Were you, Kidofuji Nagisa, not the victim of the Eden Treaty incident? And you can hardly deny that we were the perpetrators of said incident. So why are you, the victim, apologizing? You can see why that'd be weird to us. When people's actions don't make sense to you, it means they know something you don't. Enough, Misaki. Please, it's okay. I understand concerns. I truly do. I can offer two answers. One more palatable, the other difficult to accept. What would the palatable answer be? Well, if my apology alone was all it took to quell the Trinity students' bodies' lingering anxiety regarding Arius, it'd be quite the keen political maneuver on my part to give one. You should have been honest from the beginning. Now, let's hear it out, Misaki. So what of your more complicated answer? Allow me to tell a story of a student who leads their tea party in Trinity. After experiencing a particularly harrowing incident called the Eden Treaty, she spent much time reflecting upon what had gone wrong. In her need for answers, she began digging into records of the past. Some were so confidential that even as a member of the Tea Party, she had difficulty finding them, but she was never overwhelmed with this gnawing hunger to understand all that had taken place. Later, as she was gazing down at the Trinity campus, at all the students living out their peaceful lives, the answer finally dawned on her. In order for both schools to move forward, their relationship could not stay as it was. What Trinity did was wrong, and so should it not be Trinity who reaches out their hand in reconciliation first, whether it be grasped or cut off? Reminds me of a freakishly strong pink princess. Yes, perhaps it was that very princess that helped this student to finally open her eyes. Then me as well. As one of royal blood, and perhaps the one closest to the role of student council president, on behalf of Area Satellite School, I'd like to apologize for the terrorism we committed against you. I do appreciate it, truly. However, the apology spoken here will hardly be enough to resolve the years of conflict between our schools. I'd like the opportunity to one day apologize to the transfer students living in Trinity, as well as to those who remained in areas. A certain teacher once taught me something. Apologies hold no weight without also taking responsibility, and such responsibility must be upheld with action. I agree with that sentiment. I have much to apologize for as well. But let's not waste any more time on platitudes. Why did you want to meet with us? I take it you had a different objective than just bowing your head. Borrowing. Oh, that could have been a way different sentence. You've gone to great lengths just for the chance to apologize and tell us you've grown. Yes, well said, Saudi. Allow me to usher along this meeting's agenda. Now, I'm sure Sensei has already spoken to you about exams. Do you mean... Yes. Perhaps this is arrogance on my part, but I share Sensei's sentiment. I wish for everyone from areas to have the opportunity to hold their heads high in society, if they so wish. That's very kind. Thank you, Nagisa. I was concerned that we would see this as a patronizing or controlling. Because behind every altruistic act lies the possibility of being motivated by a subconscious feeling of superiority, for one to believe that they alone know best, and to judge that others should live as they see fit. But that was never your intention, was it, Nagisa? Atsuko. I believe such awareness around one's actions begets trust in its own way. Doesn't it, Misaki? You're not wrong. I actually don't even care if you do think like that. So it's okay. To me, at least. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your hospitality thus far. So what is it you'd like for the Aries squad and Sensei to do? I haven't even broached. How did you... This may sound arrogant, but this is what they call street smarts. Leader, you actually looked quite cool saying that. But it still counts as a strike, so I figured as much. And the dialogue so far is so good. It's so good. The sun will set soon. You're right. We'll want to hurry. What's wrong, Hiyori? It's just really hitting that we're actually going back to areas. That's just how the dice rolled. At this point, whatever happens, happens. You've grown, Misaki. That's a mature way of looking at things. I don't want to hear it from you, leader. Always coming and going as you please. Yeah. There's an undercurrent of affection in her jab, Sardi. She is happy you're back, if only temporarily. Hey! I won't fight with you. You'll just think whatever you want, Hime. Vulnerability is not chief among your skills, Misaki. This is exactly what I mean. It's nice to see you all getting along. Is that what you call this, Sensei? For my part, I am thrilled Sensei is joining us. Me too. It's like we're on an escort mission. Yo, my favorite streamer. Yo, Jubla. Thanks, bro. Yo, damn me up. Oh, dang. Yo, go to bed. It's 1 in the morning. Yo, Daps, yeah, I agree. Oh, you don't have school tomorrow? Oh, okay. Yeah. GN, bro. Bye. Okay. As I already said, I have a favor to ask of you, Sensei. Would you consider teaching the area students? If you'd prefer to do it remotely, we could make arrangements. I realize this is no simple request. Your safety will be our top priority. And from a certain perspective, moving ahead with this plan would be to disregard the wishes of the area students. Excuse me? You wish to teach them in person? Wow. I'm so zazed and based. I originally thought our mission would be to negotiate with the area students and support Sensei as they taught remotely. But since you agreed to going in person, it could be regarded as an escort mission of sorts. Sorry, did I make things harder for you? No. Rather, I'm worried that you once again shouldering our burdens, and I feel guilty for that. While we're on the topic, why would you risk your safety to go somewhere as dangerous as Arya Sensei? For a chance to look cool in front of my dear students. Ha ha. That was a good one. I've already learned one thing. Adults are cringy. That wasn't cool. Not at all. I believe they call this second-hand embarrassment. But that part of you is exactly why we trust you, Sensei. That felt like a pity compliment? Even I felt that way saying it. That's good. Critical damage. Sensei's down. Are they going to die? Cut this theatrics, Sensei. Let's get moving. Now then, a big round of applause. Let us all celebrate our compatriot's safe return to Arius. Haha, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing though. What matters is that your halo is intact. You protected what's most precious, so the rest can be addressed in due time. Welcome back, and thank you for returning safely, Maya. Time is still on our side. Yes, Subaru. I'm sorry, we don't even have a celebratory gift for you. No. Being back is more than enough. I kind of visited here. Liar. Ah, yes. So, how was it? The outside. Please tell me about it. The outside? It was amazing. And beautiful. I saw so many sights. Glass skyscrapers. A huge river with bridges suspended over it. At night, there were lights everywhere. Even the bridges were lit up. The way they shimmered over the water was like a dream. They had an entire building completely dedicated to playing music, while we could only play in secret when Madame wasn't looking. They held all kinds of concerts there, all throughout the day and night. Since they even played at night, they decorated it with so many pretty lights. I learned that out there, people don't worry about how useful their effort is. They aren't concerned with survival. They make pretty things just because they're pretty. And at the markets, I didn't know so many different foods existed in the world. Just smelling them made my stomach feel full. Although that could have been because smelling them was all I could do. And have you ever heard of a water park? They fill an entire area with clean water, and people come just to play in it. They even have indoor and outdoor sections, like two different worlds right next to each other. I can't even begin to count all of the things I saw. But with all those new and exciting things, there was nowhere for me to fit in. Yes, I understand. The lights were so bright, and everyone was smiling. They looked so happy together. But that's why. Because even if I fainted somewhere or fell in a dark corner, none of them would care. I knew that. I could feel that. Some people are happy, and others are satisfied. But people rarely spare a thought for those who are suffering. People are encouraged from birth that they could do anything, which also means that you may do nothing at all. No one takes your hand and guides you through life, step by step. They ignore you. They tell you that, since there's no right answer, you should live as you please. However, that's just shrugging off the responsibility with pretty words, isn't it? You've worked hard. Welcome back. Subaru. I know. There's no way for me to not. Many left here, like you, and returned, while some left for Trinity, and we haven't heard from them since. Trinity? Do you want to go too? Never. I'll never leave you. Don't worry so much. I'd be fine with you going, if you really wanted. I just couldn't follow you. I will never forgive Trinity. That's right. Why would you? I feel the same way, Subaru. Thank you. That gives me strength. Most of all, I can't forgive the squad. They were meant to lead us, and instead, they discarded us like yesterday's trash. Especially her, that Joe Mesari. Oh, we got some beef. We got beef. Harmonica. So, Sensei, your plan is to deliver these test papers and help the area students prepare for the exam, yeah? Yes, preferably as the area's comprehensive exam. Yes, the way it's presented is important. Nagisa said that as well. Considering the name Trinity Comprehensive Exam, it'd be nigh impossible for area students to accept. And who would grade the tests? The multiple choice questions are easy enough. However, the free response questions are more subjective and pose more of a problem. If, by chance, an extra print of the Trinity Comprehensive Exam ended up in the squad's hands and they delivered it to areas, naturally, Trinity would sweep it under the rug. Perhaps it was a printing error, or they mistakenly routed the shipment through Kawanishi Station. All manner of items are frequently lost there. Running a school truly is a lot of work. A shipping error, so our role would be both courier and bodyguard. What about the pay? Don't worry, I'll make sure you're properly compensated. I'll hold you to that. I've also got a secret little plan of my own. You do? What is it? I want to know. Don't encourage them. When Sensei's acting like that, you'll know it'll be something dumb again. I can't help but to be a little excited. I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. That doesn't address all our issues, however. One can hardly take an exam without studying the materials first, and I have no insight into the kind of education Aries conducts. I'm concerned that the concepts of the test will be too foreign, which is why I asked for your assistance, Sensei. So once again, thank you, and my apologies for hoisting this upon you, Area Squad. I understand that everything we are doing here is against the grain. If people were to learn that Trinity was attempting to influence Aria's operations in any way, it'd be inconceivable to most, as we are two entirely separate entities after all. How does this sound to you? I'm grateful, Nagisa. For now, I can only say that I'm grateful this is the path you're choosing. You had every opportunity to assert your authority over Arius. However brief it may have been, Trinity did successfully take over and occupy Arius last time. That sort of force would have gotten us nowhere. Which is why Kidohuji Nagisa approached Shao, not as the host of the Tea Party, but simply as a student. You know, I can't think of a more roundabout way to deal with a relatively simple problem. Simply. Is this what politics are like? It's scary. Really scary. This kind of dance is a part of society, I see. I must say, I was impressed by Kiruji and Nagisa. Huh? Leader? Are you supporting the Tea Party now? I did mean... Misaki, when the opportunity arises, can we really be so picky about whom we learn things from? There's too much we don't know about this world. Subaru, will you play the harmonica for us? Please? Please! You haven't played in so long. What? What? Right now? Come on, you're not going to be shy about it, are you? It's just that, I mean, I'm playing my harmonica in these ruins, pretending to be lost in our feelings. I've been thinking this lately, but maybe we've outgrown that a little. Whoa, is Subaru blushing right now? Ha, did think Subaru would actually get embarrassed too. We got to witness a rare event today. I was away for a long time, so I'd really like to hear you play too, Subaru. Ugh, don't pull those puppy dog eyes with me. Yeah. Did I do something wrong? You're just playing dirty now. I have no reason not to. Yay! I really do let you all bully me sometimes. Well, since you backed me into a corner. Even if I miss a note, I don't want to hear a single noise of complaint out of you all. You always say that, and you never actually do. I remember the day Madame outlawed music. But what I remember more is the way you would secretly play for us if she was gone. It never sounded clumsy or stilted to me. I might not know anything about music, but I can help but feel that you're really good at it, Subaru. Flattery will get you nowhere, I hope you know. Anyway, I'll start now, okay? Wow. I've really missed this. The sound of her playing. I feel like I'm being welcomed back with warm, inviting arms. We're really back. Yeah, it seems so. Misaki, are you okay? Fine, I'm fine. It's okay, I understand. Yeah, do you really think it's okay for us to come back here? I know we've already talked about it a lot, but now that we're actually here, I feel kind of twitchy, unsettled. You're right. That's a good way to describe it. I forgot that it's not your first time here either, Sensei. To be honest, Hiyori is probably right. It's unlikely we'll be welcomed back to areas. We're nothing but traitors to the ones who stayed. Yes, that's likely the general sentiment towards us. Subaru took the helm after we left, right? Yes. We have actually sent a few envoys to Ares in an attempt to make contact with the remaining Ares students. How did they react? Let's just say the remedial knights found themselves carrying out their original duties of aid and treatment. The only intel we gathered is the name of the student leading them. Kakahashi Subaru. What kind of person is Subaru? Sasa knows her best. I can't say I know everything about her, but at first glance, she seemed approachable and charismatic, but at the same time, it always felt like there was a gap you could never quite bridge with her. I hate that. Just be consistent. That is a pretty accurate description of her, though. So it's not like she completely shut you out. That's a more positive way to say it, but, well, knowing you, you'll try to talk things out of her, regardless of what I say. Is everyone ready then? Aria squad, move out. It's nice to hear you say that again. It's been a few months. Sensei, can I talk to you? This will probably be our last chance to talk. I don't understand why you have so little regard for your well-being. You throw yourself into danger without a second thought. Sorry, I'm not angry. I didn't mean it like that. I don't want to see you get hurt or suffer anymore. Mentally or physically. Just your concern strengthens me, Saudi. Really? Then I can keep you safe by worrying about you more? That was childish of me. I guess I want everything to work out conveniently. Exactly the way I want. Where's this coming from? Well, I don't know. I guess because we're here, at Arius. It stirs the memories inside me. It feels more visceral. Sensei? Sensei, I've been wanting to apologize. Oh, right, I almost forgot. The transfer students. Huh? They wanted me to tell you something. Thank you. What? Why? The only thing we did as the area squad. Well, I guess they never would have been able to transfer if we hadn't. But the stuff that we did, I thought it was all really bad, right? Yes, it was. We never should have done it. I knew it. Regardless, those transfer students, they really were grateful towards all of you. That's the honest truth. What really is the truth, Sensei? Or even history? My answer is going to be old-fashioned. But we study so we can discover and understand the truth, right? I should have anticipated that response. You really are a teacher. And since you're a teacher, you get to ask one more thing. Are all of you keeping up with your studies? Ha! Of course you are, Sensei. I do enjoy studying quite a bit, as hard as that may be to believe. Me too. You work so hard to sneak us Blu-rays and notes all the time. Only when I have nothing better to do. I am as well. It's useful for my work to have a better understanding of how society works. Which is exactly why you told us earlier. Atsuko is right. You are a teacher, Sensei. My grand plan is coming together. Sensei, the more excited you are, the more anxious I get. Everyone? What's wrong? Uh, leader? We're finally... We're back home. That was so touching, Subaru. Encore! Encore! Not today. How come? Please, please, please. It's okay if you're embarrassed. No, it's just that I just don't know any other songs. That makes sense, though. We can hardly go to the store and buy more sheet music. Okay, fine. Subaru, Subaru, right now, out there, it's... You're okay? Slow down. What happened? Well, the squad and Shell Sensei just entered areas. The squad? They've got some guts showing their faces around here. There's no place for them here anymore. I won't let them in. I agree. I'll never forgive them. We'll give them the same treatment we did those envoys from Trinity. Hold on. Did you say Shao Sensei's with them? Yes, that's right. So they're using their brains this time. Or maybe they were the ones recruited. What do you mean? Listen, everyone. If it were only the squad, I wouldn't even spare this issue any time. But the problem is that adult Shale Sensei. Just their presence means we'll have to tread carefully. Why is that? Are you serious? Think about what that adult's done here. They're the one who made Madame disappear, remember? Yeah, but why? Oh! Exactly. We have no idea what that adult might do, or what kind of powers they have. That's how adults are. We have no idea what they might do to Arius or to us. You're right. They do the most unimaginable things, like they're eating breakfast. Then what do we do, Subaru? Don't panic. It's okay. We'll go out and greet them. What? Seriously? I can't guarantee this is the right path, or that is the safest one. But I'd rather try than roll over for them, wouldn't you? For now, keep your safeties on. Do not disengage them yet. Understood. I think she meant engage. Aria, stop. After this one, I might stop. It's been a while. Let's give it 3 more minutes. It's really them. The squad is actually here. What nerve coming back here after abandoning us. They're the ones who always got all the special perks, too. To be honest, looking back, you could hardly call those perks, though. The big one is Sensei. I've never seen them in person before. I think I did last time. They were pretty forgettable. Wow. My skin's prickling. Okay, Misaki, here, lotion. I have some lotion. That's kind of Hiyori, but that's not what she meant. She was referring to the hostility in the air. The squad and Jome Saori. Subaru, I'll get to the point. Why are you here? We had business here. Have you been enjoying your time as a fugitive? Hiding around like a rat? Yes, I'm still doing that. So, are you here because you're finally tired of your fancy new life? It is a little tiring. Sao? Sorry, Etsuko. It feels wrong to be dishonest here. For better or worse, while I'm standing on Arius grounds. I think I understand. I see. So you came crawling back because the grass wasn't greener on the other side? Looks like there's no seed for you here, though. So terribly sorry. That's not it. It's just that... What are you laughing at? Nothing. Pardon me. Thinking about how to respond, I couldn't help but laugh a little at my own thoughts. Were you always this good at being unbearably annoying? thinking about it, yes. Yes, you were. If I was, I'd like to apologize. I can't change the past, but that is exactly what I mean. Fine, great. So then, why have you returned? The reason is so we can all take an exam together. Sorry? What did you just say? An exam? I didn't hear that right. No, I heard the same thing. I have no idea what she's talking about. Maybe this is what the outside does to you. Hold on. I wasn't expecting that at all. Wait, okay. I need a minute to process. Hmm. No matter how many times I think it over, that makes no sense. Misaki? Sorry, Hime, but I know why Leader was laughing. He can't help but laugh at this situation. And Super's confusion was the icing on the cake. I see. My word choice must have been poor. I recently heard that stating the conclusion first can benefit the flow of conversation. No, wait, I needed to consider the context and timing as well. If you already knew that, then start with the context. In other words, we'd like for everyone to take an exam together. Are you actually stupid? I don't know how else to say it. Look, I have the papers here. And I'm asking you why area students would even consider doing something like that. Because you are students? You seriously know how to tick someone off, Jomi Saudi. We haven't seen Super Bowl like this in a while. Don't you remember? Those two have always butted heads, like it's in their blood. Their relations are in the mud. If they don't get this together, Aris will be in the mood. Should we do something? What? Why? She's not doing anything wrong. This is one of the few times I feel like cheering her on, actually. I feel similarly. You can do it, Sasa. Okay. Sis, this isn't Sari's specialty. I'll step in. So you are Shao Sensei. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'd like to welcome you to Arias, Tsukume Sensei. For now, at least. Oh my goodness, sorry, I had dinner earlier. I've heard about you from Sari. Why from her? And from the other squad members as well, of course. But why? Anyway, fine. You can understand why it's difficult for us to understand why an outsider would come into our territory and demand we take some test. As a student, studying and exams are part of your responsibilities. Why are you applying your way of life and thinking to Arias? Well, isn't Arias still a school? And you all are definitely still students, right? We're students? Well, I guess we technically are, in like a super literal sense. Aris is part of the Academy City, right? But people like us, could you really consider us normal students? I don't believe that studying is required for a student. That's all I have to say to you. Right, that might be true. What? Hear me out, okay? Just try them out once. Studying, exams, normal student activities. If, after all that, you still think it's useless, I'll leave it alone. Why would we do all that just to confirm what we already know? Huh? Being a student is about challenging your beliefs and trying new things. Are you living in a fantasy world? What are these idealistic views? You sure know how to hit where it hurts, but being a teacher means being at least a little idealistic. You say that, but you don't seem bothered at all. Okay, I understand. Really? You do? Yes. I understand very well now that your view of the world and ours are running along parallel lines that will never meet. Your disappointment is tangible. I thought an adult would be more mature. Fine, if that's how you'd like to play it. You can't enter Arius without proving you have the right to stay first. Squad, you were and always will be traitors to us. If you really want to come back to Arius, then prove the value of your existence right here, right now. Safety's off. So this is our only option. What are y'all doing right now? This is the Arius way, Sensei. You may not like it, but here, this is how it's always been. Kids grow up with their fists, after all. You're surprised to hear that from me. I would like to choose that as a compliment. But it's a little comforting. This makes me feel like we're really back home. Atsuko, will you be okay without your mask? Yes, it gets a bit stuffy and difficult to talk with it on. You don't have to fret over me anymore, Saori. I'm stronger than I was. Understood. Listen carefully, Sensei. Get yourself somewhere safe. Then we'll be at your directive. Why do things always end up this way? This is Arius. This is Arius. If you believe in what you're saying, prove it to us. Strength is power. There's no justice without power. No beliefs without strength. And the only one who can take responsibility for your life is yourself. Arius squad. Prepare to engage. How badass. Aw. I can't have my own students in here, but they're all level 90. Very engaging gameplay. I love the EX so much. My second favorite is Nika's. Who carried? Aw, Misaki carried though. I believe that. Yeah, we'll take 30 more minutes. That was a single bullet difference. Though we did still win. Gotten a little rusty, have we, squad? I can't deny that. We had trouble finding our footing. Then what's your next move? We've more than proven our value here. The rules, well, the rules, I guess. Those traitorous, arrogant punks. They've probably gotten into all kinds of crazy fights outside. The odds were stacked against us from the beginning. But they couldn't even protect Arius, and now they think they can just throw their weight around? Those little... It's fine, Misaki. It'll be okay. It's not our right to invalidate their resentment. That sensei person is just like that. Selfish and bullheaded. They're pretending they care about us as students, but they're just waiting for their chance to stab us in the back. Hey, you okay? She's out. Dude, two shots to the chest and one to the head. I barely even saw it happen. Those are hardly the skills of someone who's rusty. Atsuko. We'll endure whatever you wish to throw at us, but you would do it well not to direct any of it at Sensei. I trust you can exercise at least that much reason. I'm still from Arius too, understood? Yes, ma'am. The air was decidedly awkward and fearful after Atsuko's outburst. With things being as tense as they were, I took this as an opportunity to liven the mood. Alright, kiddos, let's get to studying. You could say that, but we don't have anything a normal school has to offer. Our classrooms have been long abandoned. We have no coursework or curriculum to study, and no teachers. Do you really want me to keep going? Don't sweat the small stuff. All you need to learn are chairs, desks, and a blackboard. And I already have some teachers in mind. So, this is it. It's perfect. Let's start with picking up the chairs. Look, there's even a podium and a blackboard. We don't have many dictionaries here in Arius, but I guess the definition of perfect changed at one point. It's too late anyways. The sun is setting soon. It's okay. The first class is more of an orientation. It's just a quick overview and then attendance. Are you sure? Of course. You can do it, Saudi. What exactly am I doing? You're going to be one of our student teachers taking charge of first period. When was this decided? Just now? Ah, my apologies for even asking. This was your grand plan, Sensei? Is this why you asked if you've been keeping up with our studies? Everything makes sense now. But I... Yay! We're ready for class, Miss Jome. Yes, I'm ready, Miss Saudi. You too, Atsuko? Yeah. Saradi looked distressed and incredibly awkward as she took the podium. What am I supposed to teach and how? This is a social studies textbook on social contract theory? I know about this. Class, take your seats so we can start. Huh? Why should we sit just because she says so? Well, we are already sitting, actually. Open your notebooks. If you don't have one, use your Arius student handbook. I know you each have one of those, at the very least. If you really don't have anything to write on, copy your neighbor's notes later. Make sure to write things down. You'll never memorize anything if you just tell yourself you'll remember. Okay. I'm getting war flashbacks to when Sardi was our drill instructor. Before we begin, there's one thing of utmost importance I have to impart on each of you. Contracts are important. Contract? What is that? Some outside world thing? A contract is a document drawn up between two parties to serve as legal proof of their mutual agreement and the terms they agreed upon. It doesn't matter how perfect or strong or efficient you are when you work. Without a contract, you will never be paid. You'll cut open your hands, pour out your heart and soul, and then leave with nothing, not even with your dignity. And it'll happen to you over and over and over again. Do you think she's okay? I know, right? That sounded really personal. Hang in there, Salsa. Thus, social contract theory says that society has no meaning of its own and is instead an artificial concept maintained by the agreement and compliance of its members. So, while it is artificial origins, society assumes that every contributing member is granted inherent inalienable rights from birth. Excuse me, I have a question. What is it, Maya? If society isn't real, doesn't that mean those inherent rights aren't real either? Good question. At first glance, that statement seems contradictory, but society is upheld by assumptions and agreements. It benefits the whole to assume that every person is born with what we call our human rights, and that assumption creates a better foundation for society. So yes, none of it is real or true. However, choosing to believe in it serves everyone in the end. I've never thought of it like that before. And that's all for today. If you have questions, write them down and bring them to our next class. It'd be unfair of me to ask you to study in advance, but you should review what you can, at least. Review is one of the most important parts of studying. How'd I do? Even better than expected, Miss Jome. As a fellow teacher, I was touched. I'm not quite used to being called that yet. But thank you for saying that. I'm relieved. Then next up is physics. Miss Machino. Excuse me? Physics of all things? What is this, sensei? What? Ballistics is basically classical mechanics? That's actually true. Which infuriates me to no end. Fine. Dude, we're actually in school right now. First, memorize the formulas. You're all exercising your brains for the first time. So my expectations are low, at least until we get further into the curriculum. You should be grateful that math and physics start with memorizing formulas. If you can understand everything I'm talking about already, then consider yourself a genius. Go become a physicist or rocket scientist. Although, the smarter you are, the easier it is for your field of vision to narrow to just numbers and facts. Empathy and compassion play their own role in the sciences. Hello, I'm Hakari Atsuko, and I'll be teaching you biology. Let us dive right into the lesson. Biology is both fun and important. For example, what is a gene? What is the process for living things to produce offspring? Atsuko, stop! Are you suggesting I skip over important theories, sensei? Don't worry, you can trust me, sensei. Then why don't we start with what meiosis is? And that wraps up our look at the components and organelles that make up a cell, including the genes. If you remember anything, remember that a cell is the basic unit of life. Well, hi everyone. It's been a while. So you see, what am I doing up here, sensei? I'm not like the others. I just read a lot of magazines. Shouldn't you see mention magazines? I knew the solution. Huh? You want me to talk about how people live on the outside? Like what they wear, what they eat, how they live, the kind of things I've seen in magazines? I can totally do that, probably. If you don't mind me starting over, hi everyone. This might sound really random, but what does everyone think of fashion? I know it doesn't seem very important or like something you would learn in school, but fashion is really just choosing how you want to be seen. I think that's a lot more important than you'd realize. And it's a big part of people's daily lives on the outside, in fact. Hiyori's lecture on fashion and daily life was the most well received of the four. It helped that their teachers were their peers, people they already knew and had grown up with. Bit by bit, we chipped away at the other students' wariness towards studying, which was my cue to step in. What did I teach? From everything we've discussed so far, we can draw the following conclusion. A self-evident proposition is something that's clear by its very nature. Surprisingly, a lot of the students were able to follow the lesson. Not everyone, of course. But all of that is simply part of school life. And that's a wrap. Great job, everyone. Thank you. My head hurts. I guess it wasn't all that bad, though. Hey, give me your notes. You didn't take your own? I'm not going to lie. I totally spaced out. You spaced out for 4 hours? This will be your room, if you could call it that. I apologize, Sensei. This is the best we have. Don't worry, I actually brought a sleeping bag too. This is heaven. Is everything okay? Sensei, do you have time to talk? I'll try not to take up too much of your time. I'd like to talk about some things with you, please. Okay, one more. I'd like to talk about some things with you, please. Of course. Do you want something to drink? I only have bottled milk, tea, or barley tea, though. Yes, please. Either is fine. We sat in silence for a while, sipping from our bottles as we unwound from the day. Saturday was tense, and I could tell she had a lot on her mind. By the way, your class today was amazing. Really? Even you don't think you could have done as well? Too much flattery is a little embarrassing, Sensei. You meant it? You knew you were right to ask us? Oh, I used to teach all of them in the past as a drill instructor. But this experience, it's motivating me to study harder. Hmm? Teaching is its own form of learning? I suppose you would have to understand a subject thoroughly to teach it to someone else. I agree with that. Like the fog lifted as I began to explain things. And there's something else. I learn more and more from each of you all the time. How can we teach you anything? A teacher's job is to guide those with less experience, is it not? Despite what you think, it's still pretty inexperienced myself. And there's a lot you lose as you age. I get to learn them all over again from my students. I see. That's hard for me to understand. But I will one day. At times, Sensei. You speak a bit like a geezer. Are you okay, Sensei? Did you choke? Are you sick? No. That was the despair of someone forced to face undeniable truths. Should I have not used that word? It was my first time. I ever heard someone say it once, so I wanted to try. No, there was nothing wrong with what she said. Who in Kubota's is a geezer, if not Shale Sensei? I truly am sorry. Even if you forgive me, I... Sayuri's face fell as she slowly trailed off. I waited patiently for her to find the words as she sipped at her drink a few more times. Sensei, I'm sorry, again, for something else. All these apologies may be ineffective in communicating my intentions. We might have a repeat of the cruise at this rate, a never-ending carousel of apologies that lead us nowhere. I apologize if what I'm about to ask is rude, Sensei. I hope I don't come across as rude. This is simply the result of my resolve to face my crimes. Being back here made me realize something. I never apologized to you, not even once. I really mean it when I say it's okay, Sayuri. I knew that's what you wanted to say earlier, so I changed the subject. Back then, it's just being back here. It brings back a lot of memories in more ways than one. Sensei? I still haven't properly apologized to you, Sensei. I almost forgot about the transfer students. Oh, that did feel abrupt at the time. I didn't realize that was why, though. However, could you indulge me for a little bit, Sensei? I realize I'm being selfish. Lately, I felt stuck in that moment, as if the past is binding me to it, demanding I find the courage to face it. If I can't do that while I'm here, where everything began, I don't know if I'll ever be able to return to those kids. I'll be stuck, wading through this sludge of regret and guilt. Got it. Let's do it together, then. Then, could you show me your stomach, Sensei? Sorry? I realize how it sounds, but that's not what I mean at all. I did try to give some context this time. I I need to see with my own eyes, Sensei. Your scar, the traces left on you, Sensei. Everything Sardi had been saying finally clicked into place for me. So that so whether it was for the best or not, I did as she asked and pulled up my shirt. Uh, that's Sari reached out, her fingertips tracing gently along the raised ridges of my scar. The tremors in her hand were so intense I could feel them on my skin without even looking. I'm sorry. Sensei, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm what what did I what do I do? How do I make this better? How do I fix this? Sensei, our sensei. How could someone like me? How could I? I'm Saturday crumpled onto the ground as if she was collapsing from the weight of her guilt. Slowly, gently, I placed my hands on her shoulders. Hey, it's okay, Sensei. You saw it for yourself. I've healed. I'm okay. It doesn't hurt. I promise. It doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't matter. I scarred you. It's still there. It'll be there forever. I know that. That much I've learned, Sensei. There are these are the consequences of my actions. No matter what I do, the things I have done have left wounds that will never ever truly heal. The scars of my very existence scattered into thorns that hurt everything in the river and around me. I'll never be able to erase those traces. Yesterday, now, and forevermore. If this is how things are, I'd rather have. Don't ever say something like that. I can't bear to hear something so sad from my own student. Sensei. I can't lie to you, Saturday. There are wounds that will never heal. The thing about humans is that even with those scars, we're remarkably strong. We bear them and we live on together. We bear them together? That's how people are meant to live. But I still don't know. I really don't know. The only thing I've learned is that I know nothing at all. I truly believe that if I could face what I've done, I could finally move forward from it. I deluded myself into thinking that if I could look at it with my own eyes, I could forgive myself. But all of that, this was all just arrogance on my part, wasn't it? Hey, sorry. Yeah. If you could travel to the past, to the Saturday back then, what would you say to her? How strange. I've thought about that many times over. And every time I did, I was overcome with regret. I resented that idiotic brat who hurt others and committed crimes without a second thought, without considering the consequences of her actions, with little regard for the lives she would destroy. I wish I could talk to that brat. After slapping her across the face at least once, I would ask her if she understood the gravity of what she intended to do. I want to shake her until she comes to her senses, until she sees how dark and desolate the path she's walking down is. But that's impossible now. That brat is gone, and it's just me, trying to understand the very consequences she so selfishly ignored. Since I can't do that, I have no other option but to keep moving forward on the path she set us upon, to try and right it somehow. That's all there is to it. Yes, that's all there is to it. And that's more than enough, Saori. Sensei? Do you hear me, Saori? That's enough. Even if the whole world points the finger at you. So do you think I'm guilty? Guilty? So do you think I'm guilty? Let me finish talking. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. If I can make the better choice next time, and if I've grown enough to stop and think before I act next time, that's enough for you? If I can promise you that you'll be there as many times as it takes. Saori sobbed and cried out all of her feelings, all her guilt. I rubbed her back, comforting her until the sobs turned into quiet sniffles and hiccups. You know, something is different here at Aries. What's different? Um, that first class helped to ease the tensions, and we were able to talk to each other. Their quality of life has improved. Water time is a more peaceful time now, and they've been receiving 3 proper meals a day. Of course, the entire district is still run down, but money and supplies have started circulating, even if only slightly. Although I still don't understand where it's all coming from, regardless, something has shifted in areas. I suppose it's not surprising though. Nothing in those worlds stays exactly the same forever. Does the change make you uneasy? I don't have a name for this feeling yet. All I can say is that it's good to see that their lives have improved, no matter how slightly. Sensei, do you think there's any hope for us too? We can start building from here. When you're laying bricks one by one, it feels endless. But all that little effort comes together to create an entire structure. I see. I'm grateful we met you, Sensei. To have had you by our side until now, we're truly lucky. Without you, actually, all of us would probably have. Sensei, I'm only postulating, but I have a question. Could I sleep here with you tonight? Don't look that shocked, Sensei. I was making a joke. When someone who never jokes makes one out of nowhere, it's a little shocking. I see. I'll keep that in mind for the future. I completely embarrassed myself, didn't I? Who's to say? Well, I don't have the most comfortable room to get back to, but I should still return to it. Good night, Sensei. Sleep well. Saturday closed the door, paused, and rested against it for just a moment. I said I was only making a joke. Part of me may have meant it, though. Sleep well. Subaru, are you sleeping? Oh, Maya. No, I'm not. Why don't you come in? It's okay. I was just checking in. Do you think I would be in here nursing my pride, sulking over my loss against the squad and Sensei? No way. That's not why at all. I absolutely, definitely wasn't thinking that, Suru. Don't worry. I understand why you think that. I said that's not it. I'm sorry, Maya. I'm just teasing. There's nothing to worry about, okay? Really? Really? Maybe now isn't the time to talk about this, but Arya's hatred won't be satiated so easily. Uh, by the way, did you have fun today? In class, well, did you, Subaru? Hey, we've talked about this. We'll never get anywhere if you always answer questions with questions. I'm sorry, Subaru. Is it hard for me to say? I've never experienced anything like that before. There was just too much going on. But it was also really incredible in its own way. Like, wow. So that's how things work out there. And it made me realize just how separate our two worlds were. Actually, that's not exactly right. They still are. Two, two entirely different worlds. I can't deny that. But a lot has still changed here. Most importantly, there's enough food to go around now, so we've taken steps forward in our own way. Mm-hmm. That's the best part of all this. I did have a question about that. All this food, the snacks and meals, don't they cost money? So how... Uh, do you really want to know, Maya? Huh? Yeah? Once you know this, there's no going back. There are some things that we are better off not knowing that will warp your understanding of the world. Are you serious? No, no. Kidding, kidding. I'm kidding. Forgive me? Subaru. It is true, though. New knowledge shapes your perspective. It molds the way you view certain circumstances, and you won't be able to unlearn it. Like with Sensei's lessons today. Subaru, in this world, you can't change or do anything without money. Everyone wants the next best thing, but there's a finite number of resources in the world. Scarcity causes competition, and competition causes conflict. Along the way, someone gets left behind, but society doesn't stop for anyone until one day everyone forgets they even existed. Just like that. Just like us. Have you heard? In Kavodas, our particular set of skills is in very high demand. It's a line of work where area students alone hold a very unique advantage. In other words, Areas has a monopoly on the market. A line of work, a monopoly, our unique advantage. Subur? Good, you're back. I assume the job is done. Hmm? What's all this? Please spare me. I'll do anything if you let me live. Just don't kill me, please. Um, Explain yourself, Subaru. I told you to take care of him. Consider him a present. From now on, he lives to serve you. If you're not happy with it, I'll make him eat lead right here. Oh, no, please, anything but that. He certainly looks the part, but taking him out will be cleaner. You get none of his assets if I kill him here. Keep him, and everything he owns is yours, down to his socks. You can have anything you want, please. Just don't kill me. I could be useful. Hmm? How could you ensure my safety? He could turn on me at any moment. Tell him you have Aries on speed dial. That'll keep him in check. It's tempting, but you're nothing but a mercenary. You'll stab me from behind as soon as I turn my back on you. I'm no common criminal looking for their next buck. Without their reputation, a mercenary is nothing. We're wild cards in a business that doesn't like surprises, so mercenaries have to be reliable to survive. Fine, I'll trust you on this. Good work. The market's as good as ours. Most people barely know what Ares is, and those who dismiss it as the dirty slums. Do they not realize just how filthy the outside world they live in is? I can see it. Does that mean you've killed someone before? Not yet. But what a relief. That's good to hear. But you could get paid for doing that. I don't actually do the deed, just close enough. It usually works out in the end. It's common to say that people don't change. I've learned that's not true. When people are face to face with death, they change. It's like instinct. It's always a gamble. Who they become in that last moment. Maybe we've changed too. Who in this world lives closer to death than we do? Because we're Aries. This might be just me, but money is just money. There's no such thing as clean or dirty money. 1 yen is always just 1 yen. If I had the luxury to think about things like that, I'd consider myself blessed. The longer I do this kind of work, the more I can feel it wear away at my soul. When you attack something that looks human, it gets inside your head. Maybe humans evolved that way to protect ourselves from each other. Hmm? What do I do when I feel that way? I think about each of you, of course. You're my reason to keep pushing forward. I've been away more lately, haven't I? I'm sorry. No, not at all. Please don't apologize. Of all people, you should be the one apologizing. You're working so hard for us, Subaru. And I'm happy to do it. You can make it up to me by eating lots and enjoying your youth. That's what keeps me going. Not everyone can be happy. That's the thinking of dreamers and innocence. Nobody knows that better than we do. That's why the kids at Aries need somewhere to go, a place they can call home. I'm going to build that home for them here. The kids that were thrown away, the ones who weren't useful to society, they can come here. It might be a little cramped for everyone to come all at once, though. It's like a little bird's nest, huh? Be that as it may, it's this nest I want to protect. Then all those baby birds can live here with a sense of safety. And maybe, step by step, they'll be able to learn how it feels to live. Subaru. Remember, Madame? Ugh. Ha, seriously. Ugh, just the thought of that time makes my skin crawl. There are things out there that Madame has never done. Things she's never thought to try. If I lived out my life experiencing all those things, I'd be satisfied. For the time being, that's enough. Subaru. Yeah? Play me a song. Do you know what time it is? I already played that today. Just one more time, please. I'm sure everyone else will hear it and love it too. Jeez, I don't know how you'll turn out like this. Alright, fine. Hee. Is that a harmonica? Subaru. That one hasn't changed at all. What is this? Who's there? Okay, that made my skill jump a little. I feel like I'm drifting into suffocating fog. But what? Who are you? Is that a trumpet? And we're gonna stop at a cliffhanger. Alright, we're gonna stop here for now. That was really good. I liked all the beginning dialogue. I know I have one viewer. That's probably me, but thank you all for stopping by. If you needed something to sleep with, that's okay too. I needed that a lot, like daily. So, I'll continue this probably anytime before Thursday. I have something to do on Saturday, and I have to be up early for that. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you.